How's everybody doing today? I'm Matt Edmond, and it's going to be another movie news video today. I've got two bits of pretty big news, very big news actually. One of them is about a new animated film, and the other one is about Star Wars. We'll start with the new animated film. There was just a Pixar press conference, and it was confirmed that along with Cars 3, but who cares about Cars 3? That franchise is dead. To me, anyway. That finally, after actually, it has been 10 years, The Incredibles 2 is happening. And it is hoped to be released somewhere around 2017. And that Brad Bird is coming back to direct. I think that's what was said. Either that or he's involved some way. I'm pretty sure they said to direct, though. And what this means to me is overwhelming excitement. The Incredibles is one of my favorite Pixar movies, and it's also one of my favorite superhero movies. There's just so much depth in the way of storytelling, and the movie is visually spectacular. The animation is nearly flawless. And the voice acting by everyone across the board is awesome. If you haven't seen The Incredibles, you really need to, because it'll blow you away. There's never been, well, there's been a couple. There hasn't been very many near perfect animated movies, but that is one of them. It is a very heart-wrenching movie. It's funny, it's deep in its storytelling, and to see a sequel finally after 10 years is great, because there's so much that they can do with this franchise in terms of, well, not only the story, but where they can take this and just how spectacular and large scale it can be, because the first Incredibles, for the most part, is a pretty small scale movie in terms of action. I mean, it's pretty simple, and it's almost kind of like an espionage movie at some points, with mostly stealth takedowns and whatnot, but they could really make this movie a very large scale Avengers type movie, and to see that with The Incredibles, the characters that I grew up loving and watching this movie and literally burning the DVD up, will be incredible to see it 13 years later whenever it's released in 2017. So that's going to be really awesome. I hope I coherently put my opinion out there that I really am excited for this to happen. And what do you guys think about that? Put your opinion on what you think about the Incredibles sequel coming in 2017 and what you would want the franchise to do. Do you want it to stay on the small scale, or do you want the franchise to expand into a much larger scale in terms of action and plot and story? Love that movie. The next is, this was posted on the Star Wars Facebook page about an hour ago, I'd say, about 45 minutes to an hour ago, that Star Wars Episode 7 will officially begin shooting in May. I believe they said May 30th in Pinewood Studios in London, England. And that the story will be set 30 years after Return of the Jedi, and that you will see a mixture of new faces and familiar faces. Familiar faces, if I can talk properly. This excites me. I didn't think they were going to go as far in terms of time span as they were. I thought it was going to be maybe like 5 to 10 years, but no, it's going a full 30 years, which will make some of the characters, or at least most of them, around 50. I believe, yeah, around 50 years of age if we're talking familiar faces, which they can mean any spectrum of characters, but they more than likely mean Luke, Han, and Leia. And Chewbacca and C-3PO and R2-D2, of course. So basically, I expect the 6 to return. Maybe not for mainly major parts, but maybe some cameos. I don't expect the droids to have a big part in the new trilogy, but I think Luke, Han, and Leia will have some part to play that will eventually lead up to them trying to be like washed up heroes. But eventually having to train somebody else, because I'm not sure if this is going to be their children or some new Padawans that they're training or what have you. It's more than likely going to be their children, in my opinion, because they're going to train them. They're going to inherit the Force from them, and blah 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 blah. They get the Force, they train them, and then a new evil rises, yada yada. This is just my quick little opinion on what I think it'll all be about, but I'm sure it'll delve deeper into what I'm just spewing out of my mouth incoherently. But I'm really excited for it. I didn't think they were going to go as big of a time jump as they were, and I hope they bring a lot of the original actors back. If they have to replace somebody, that's okay. I mean, it's not like it's going to majorly hurt anything as long as it's not the big three characters, Luke, Han, and Leia. I think you could go with replacing somebody if they're too old, if their shooting schedule isn't for them, etc., etc. I think you could go with replacing somebody, but I'm really excited about this, and I'm glad that they finally made a clear announcement. The announcements before this have been kind of ambiguous. They're like, yeah, this is happening sometime, someplace with some people. But now we actually have a clear announcement with some objectives, etc., etc. So I'm pretty excited about it. What do you think about the Star Wars news? Do you think they were going to get as big of a time jump? And who do you think is going to be returning? That is all for now. I'm Matt Inman. You can check out my other reviews on my channel. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a comment and like this video. See you later.